just share with us what exactly does Easter in prison entail for those who are not familiar with it?
Well, Easter in prison, when you hear that phrase, you would think, why would I want to spend Easter in prison? Yeah, what's that all about? Yeah, it kind of it kind of makes you stop and pay attention. Yeah, what's that all about? But Easter in prison is something that we started as Power FM in 2011. Wow. So way back. 2010 actually, not 2011, because it's 11 years of it. So it's way back then. And then back then we were looking at visiting prisoners, and giving them hope, and you know what, spending Easter in prison, really, you're behind bars, you can't be with your family, and so we were thinking, what can we do, how can we go and excite them, and then in the process tell them about Jesus and give them a message of hope. So we started visiting prisons. Luzira opened its doors. We've been to Gulu. Through the years, the visit to Gulu, the first visit to Gulu prison was in 2018. And that year we went to 2 different prisons, Makshan Bay and to Gulu as well. So we did one in May and then one around June as well. But before that, we'd just go to one prison, and mostly Luzira. Then in 2019, we started a campaign to go to Camp Piringisa, but of course, we weren't able to go. Actually, 2020, we were not able to go because of a lockdown. Then in 2021, we were able to pick that up again and go. But one of the things we realized is not just prisoners who are affected by being in prison. They're there physically, but their children and their wives are affected. Yes, relatives generally, And when the breadwinner is behind bars, what happens? They suffer, the kids suffer, their wives suffer, not just because of the way they are treated in the community, but they lack stuff. So we also visited wives of prisoners. I believe there's a year, I think it was 2017 or 16 when we did that. And then we've been to the school we are going to this year. Before we went in 2017, and it's Wells of Hope School, a school that is mainly for the children of prisoners. It's open to the community, but it mostly serves children of prisoners because they really can't afford the basics that most kids can afford. So we decided, Easter in prison this year is going to be 11 years old. So we must make it about the children again. So we can talk about that some more then.
All right.
With it being 11 years, what is it that has kept the drive going? Could you share a testimony or testimonies, of how it has impacted the community, that it has kept it going, that has given it so much life?
I think one of the things that has kept it going is the fact that is diversity, not doing the same thing the same way every single year, because we could have been just going to the prisons all the time and reaching out to the inmates, which is a good thing in itself, because you have so many salvations. You come out with 100 plus, salvations, people giving their lives to Christ, and when they're released, because some of them are short term, in there, they're not there for the long haul. When they're released, they come to the station. That's one of the big things that is so exciting for us, when inmates come to the station and say, last year at Easter you came, and now when I came out of prison, there was one guy, unfortunately I don't remember his name, but as soon as he was released and dropped off, he came straight to Power FM because he did not know, and with a parent in prison. So we are appealing to our love family, our beloved love family, to join us in this, because we really cannot do it by ourselves. We need our love family to come alongside us. And last year our campaign was called Mutwalo, and we were reaching out to a fewer, a smaller number of kids in Camp Piringisa. That's why we didn't need so much. We needed just a little bit. The kids were about 100 and something, 150 or so. But now it's a bigger number. So we've kind of raised the amount. It's 20,000 shillings. 20,000 shillings is our ask. All you have to do is send us 20,000 Uganda shillings to partner with us to make a difference in the life of a child, with the hope that they'll rise up to be the change, in their families. And 20,000 shillings, you can send that through mobile money. The numbers are definitely going to be all over the place, but I can share them quickly. 0753 104 104 or 0776 106 104, and that's via mobile money. Or you can actually bring stuff in kind, because we have a whole needs list, yeah? A whole
In
needs
kind,
list,
what? Could you just let us know what that is? What that list is?
When it comes to foodstuffs,
Yes.
maize flour, beans, sugar, soap, moving away from foodstuffs,
Yes.
toilet paper, mattresses. Yeah, they're in need of mattresses, material, fabric for things like bed sheets and school uniforms. Yeah, they need mosquito nets, they need books, pens, and they need blankets, buckets, things like that. Some of them need school shoes. If you have some that maybe you're still in really good condition, kids outgrow shoes very fast these days. So your child's shoes may not be fitting anymore, but they're still in really good condition. You can bring them over. Remember, ages 3 to 19. Yeah, so anything is very helpful. And then they're also asking for stoves for their kitchens. Yeah, they want 2 stoves for their kitchens. So maybe you work in a company that actually, makes these things, so you can do some charity work and send them over. Would love for you to consider one of these things, even beds or desks for their classrooms.
Right.
Yeah, so some of those things are on our needs list, and whatever it is that you think you can handle, just bring it over to the PARFM offices right here on Watoto Church building in the center of town, along Buganda Road opposite Senana. Just bring them over and we'll be happy to receive them from you.
Right. But even as we talk about this, there's as you give, there's some exciting stuff that we have lined up for you in the next 2 weeks or so.
It's going to be so much fun. We have lots of activities on air. We're going to be playing lots of games. We're going to host very interesting personalities, and then we're going to have lots of things for you to view. We're going to do a lot of Instagram live, sessions and all for you to see, and it's all going to be so engaging and involving. And so as you give, I don't think you'll even feel the lightness of your pocket. Instead, you'll be having a good time as you give. So please have fun with us over the next 2 weeks, but make sure that it's fun with a cause. Yes, and let's make Easter special for those kids.
That's amazing. Even as we do wrap this hour up, and I would like to hear what are your messages, what's your final word to the listener who's listening in right now.
To the person listening in, well, I'm a mother. I have 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls, and when I look at them, sometimes I talk to them about being grateful, about the blessings that they have. And I know you guys, your parents once sometime told you there are kids who don't have food and you're refusing to eat.
We never had that.
I so use that phrase, but I'm so
Guilty.
guilty of that. It used to be done to me, and I find myself doing it. I'm like, wow, Belinda, you've turned into one of those. But you just look at your child and you're like, you're so privileged. When I was a child, well, at least I don't say I used to walk to school uphill two ways, but at least or without shoes or what.
Shoes.
But
you say we used to have mwana kula grow into your clothes.
So kids these days are so privileged. Everything is handed to them on a platter. They don't have to work hard. Generally, mostly the kids right here in the center of town and everything. But then there are other kids out there who only dream of what kids who are privileged have. And so my appeal to you is that especially if you're a parent, just look at your children. Think about the fact that your child doesn't have to wake up and worry about a meal, or the fact that they are not thinking about their buttons popping open because their shirt is not fitting, or their shoes, they are not thinking about how they squeeze them, or their feet are growing too long, the shoes are now yawning, things like that. And give because of that heart, father's heart, mother's heart. Think of the child out there who would love to have what your children have and is not able to. And even if you're not a parent, just put yourself into the shoes of those kids, or even their parents, because they're just thinking about their parents and what it's like to be in prison, worried about your child out there. What it's like. There's already enough regret with what they have done.
Yes.
But then there's also the fact that someone else is suffering the consequences of it, yeah? And so think about that parent who is praying every day, God, send someone to help my child. You could be that person.
Absolutely.
So this Easter, we can be the hands and the feet.
Yeah.
You know, as people pray, God is sending us. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's be those hands and feet and do what needs to be done. Make a difference in the lives of those children. Yeah.
Wow, you have had the rallying call, and you better be a part of this,
Yeah,
because